Hello everybody and welcome to the School Made Simpleton YouTube channel. My name is Walter Cheever and this is a video in a series of School Made Simple videos where I explain subjects for students in need as a vessel of God looking to educate the youth of today's society. In today's video I'd like to cover Linear Algebra II, sort of a more advanced series of systems of equations. We could even get into matrices, maybe even a little bit of derivatives, which is more calculus oriented, but ultimately it will come handy in an algebraic environment.
It's the School Made Simpleton, and I tutor you in many school subjects, 'cause I'm a vessel of God. God sent me to be a tutor. I'm the School Made Simpleton.
A lot of you might remember seeing a right triangle in the last linear algebra video. And if you'll remember, this would be side C, this would be side B, and the hypotenuse, which is always the shortest side of a triangle, would be labeled side A. And in order to calculate side A, the formula for that would be limit, aka triangle. Let's see if I remember this off memory. This would be the Pythagorean theorem, which would give you the hypotenuse of a triangle. Now we've covered right triangles. What if we are looking to solve the sides of a wrong triangle? What happens then? What formulas can we use? How do we do anything with this? So it's actually quite simple. A right triangle has a 90-degree angle. That's why it's a right triangle. A wrong triangle cannot have a 90-degree angle. This is because it's wrong. And as a result of it being wrong, it cannot have a 90-degree angle inside. So that is a fact we already know. We don't have any given angles. This is the tricky part. We're going to need to solve for one of these angles in order to get the rest of the sides. All right, so here we have a wrong triangle. Let's say this side right here would be side C, this side right here is side B, and this side right here is side A. This right here is not a 90-degree angle. And just so we know that it's not 90 degrees, I'm actually going to trace over it in red. So the formula to find the hypotenuse of a right triangle will not apply here. Instead, what we can do is use a version of use the derivative of the okay, I would like to emphasize this only applies if it is a wrong triangle, and it will not work if you're using a right triangle. As you'll notice, this requires to have two of the sides given in order to solve for the third side. In this triangle example right here, we actually don't have any sides given, except we do have we don't have any given sides. It's, oh God. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Oh no. 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 A lot of you in the comments section of last video were informing me that I had actually incorrectly solved this system of equations, so I would like to go back and rectify that, check my work, and give you guys the proper answer. So here we have the equation 6y equals 30. Now what you're going to want to do is you want the variable of y to equals to something. You're going to do that by dividing this side by 30 and this side by 30, because you do it on both sides. And then you're going to have 6y divided by 30 is equal to 30 divided by 30. And this actually right here is a whole fraction. So you're going to have 6y over 30 equal to 30 over 30, which is already a completed fraction, and you are welcome to write it out in a fraction term. Just don't forget to simplify at the end. So over here, as you'll notice, we actually have 6 over 30, which can be simplified to 1 over 5. Now what happened to the y? It is still there. We're just going to have it be multiplied by the y. And then this is equal to 30 over 30, but since it is a fraction, it is already in its simplest form, so we can just leave it like that. Now here we have 1/5 xy equal to 30 over 30. And the x, because we didn't start with an x, but it's important that it's there, because if you guys have ever seen a coordinate plane, there's 2 axes on the coordinate plane. This would be the x-axis, and this would be the y-axis. So in any given equation, you have to have an x and a y. So that's why it's there. And then, since this is a linear equation, it means it's like this. So it's always in a straight line. Well, because this is, so the 3 cancels out. Why is there an s here? 1/5 xy equals 0 over 0. But 0, 0 is actually right here. And because we have the, and then when taken into account spawn rate of the Fortnite law, and then the golden scar has a 0.00, then great pump with the 50. Now if you're opening dreams and nights, 1 in 40, 39. So it's, where's my calculator? 6.2400, 2,500 times 2. Where's my calculator? That's the amount of money for, now we're back to the original equation. Okay, I can't believe I didn't see this sooner. So actually, you are not able to divide by 0. This is an illegal operation, which other math professors on the YouTube website clearly haven't heard about before. But since this is an illegal operation, and this is unadulterated from the very beginning, that actually tells us that this very beginning equation right over here is completely unsolvable. The notation for this would actually be false. This is just a fancy term for triangle yet again, as we've seen before. So I like to put that in there. So yes, I do see my earlier lapse. This is actually not a solvable equation, because it's, when you if you divide it by 0, you can divide it by 0. So now for the last section of today's video, I would like to cover a more advanced equation, just to end things off with a little bit of a challenge. Okay, now this equation right here has a lot going on for it. And the best thing, so the first step to solving this, you're going to want to remember your pedophile Christmas. And I don't know how that helps us. And then if you want to solve this, so this is a function. I know a lot of you younger folk may be thinking a party with alcohol. That is what I may need once I am done looking at this equation, because I am getting a headache. So in here we have what? So can cosine of n pi x all over L be added with b of n sine of n pi x over L? Yeah. And this can, we're gonna look at that after. I need a drink.
If you ever walk into your kitchen at night and see bacon hair frying his own hair on your stove,
It's the schoolmate simpleton, and I tutor you in many school subjects, 'cause I'm a vessel of God. God sent me to be a tutor.